The Toyota Highlander has been out for about 15 years now, and each generation brought on more power, luxury, features, and most important of all, more interior space. This third generation we have here was introduced just last year, and Toyota was really trying to make it more stylish this time around, yet still make it a very practical family hauler. So is this the prime choice for a 3-row CUV among a crowded sea of them? Let's go ahead and find out. Now our model of the Highlander we have here is the Silver Sky metallic exterior color in this LE Plus trim, and it does come pretty well equipped. Now as far as styling goes on the vehicle, I think it's fairly stylish yet still pretty conservative. When you get to the rear of the vehicle, the taillights really do look like the Jeep Grand Cherokees, but it's not the most stylish crossover on the market, but it is pretty handsome overall. And then on higher end trim levels, you do get LED daytime running lights. Now here goes your key fob for the vehicle. Now a smart key is available. You have your lock, unlock, and then your power tailgate, and then your panic button. Now if you're confused about where the Highlander slots in Toyota's SUV lineup, this is the largest crossover that Toyota is offering right now. It's not the largest SUV, however. That title belongs to the Land Cruiser, and then the smallest SUV belongs to the Toyota RAV4. However, this is the most luxurious crossover, as well as the most expensive one too. Now you do have a black leatherette and cloth interior. The headrests are in leatherette, and then the sides of the seats are leatherette too. And then the whole middle portion of the seats are cloth. But one styling cue I'm not really a big fan of is this brown stitching. Kind of looks tacky on a lower trim level. But I guess Toyota wanted to make it look a little bit more high quality. You have your power driver's seat with power recline and power lumbar too. Also, I'm not really a big fan of this brown part right here as well. Now stepping inside, the step-in height is decently low. And then you're greeted with a very high quality and decently stylish cabin design, except the brown parts right here. But the dash is very upright, I have to say. And what you're hearing there is Toyota's 3.5 liter V6 that they also love to use in the Toyota Camry. Leather wrapped steering wheel. You also do have this molded stitching on the airbag cover. Now coming to your transmission, you have a traditional 6-speed automatic, nothing too out of the ordinary here, with manual shiftability, no paddle shifters here though. And then your rear view camera with guidance lines. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the headlights, and you also do have your fog lights. The headlights are also automatic as well, and the hazards too. Automatic driver's side window. And I'm going to go ahead and pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with LED turn signal indicators integrated onto the mirrors. Halogen projector beam headlights. Automatic high beams are also available. And then your halogen fog lights. Now, if you're a big fan of the latest Lexus products, then you might be a pretty big fan of this toned down version of the Lexus spindle grille. And it makes the Highlander look a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more bold too. Now under the hood here we have a 3.5 liter V6, which is optional. And this is what you will find under most Highlanders here. It produces 270 horsepower at 6,200 RPM and 248 pound-feet of torque at 4,700 RPM, with EPA estimates being 19 in the city and 25 on the highway, running on regular unleaded fuel, with front-wheel drive being standard and all-wheel drive being optional. Now, I certainly recommend avoiding the base 2.7 liter four-cylinder that comes on the Highlander, as it does feel pretty anemic and feels pretty slow when you get up to highway speeds. However, this 3.5 liter V6 is very potent and delivers enough power for your daily commute, and is proven to be very reliable too. Toyota loves to use this powertrain a lot. Now, competitors of the Highlander, you have the vehicles in the 3-row crossover SUV segment. This includes the likes of the Ford Explorer, GMC Acadia, Chevrolet Traverse, Honda Pilot, and the Dodge Durango. Now, as far as pricing goes of the vehicle, it starts at the LE trim, which starts at around $29,000, and then you can go all the way up to the Limited Platinum, which starts at $42,000. Some pretty noteworthy options include blind spot detection, automatic high beams, as well as a dual moonroof. Total vehicle price for this particular one is $34,999. EPA estimates, like I said, are 19 city, 25 highway. We also do have these pretty conservative looking but pretty handsome at the same time 18-inch alloy wheels. Rear window wiper with the rear window defroster. You have your tow hitch down there. And then rear reflectors as well. LED third brake light at the top. Pretty stylish rear end. However, I wish they did put LED taillights, since this is Toyota's biggest and most luxurious crossover. Of course, all of your basic power necessities here: power windows, door locks, power mirrors. Nice soft touch armrests, I have to say, and on the mid door panel and on the upper door panel, much improved materials over the last generation Highlander. And let's go ahead and rev up that 3.5 liter and see how it sounds. Very nice. Has some decent grunt to it, I have to say. Now, in terms of build quality and materials inside of the Highlander here, it's pretty good. Like I said, you have a nice soft touch upper door panel, mid door panel, and the armrest too. Up here on the dashboard, it's not extremely padded. However, it feels very solid and the graining is really nice. And then you also do have this molded stitching that goes over the airbag cover and all on this top portion right here. And then the build quality is pretty excellent too. I couldn't really find that many panel gaps inside of this interior compared to the last generation Highlander, which had panel gaps galore. But build quality and materials are pretty good for the class. Now, coming to the steering wheel design, this is a fairly conservative looking steering wheel, but it's a very functional design here, very easy to use too. You have your steering wheel mounted audio controls, Bluetooth phone controls, voice recognition, and then this controls your Toyota Entune system, which I'll get to in just a second. This button right here controls your little center screen right there, which I will get to a little later in the video. Then you have your cruise control stock, manually tilting and telescoping steering wheel. I found the range of adjustment to be pretty good, I have to say. Coming down there, you have your traction control off button, and then your snow mode, and then down there you'll also find a USB port and an auxiliary input and a 12-volt power outlet. And then what's pretty nice about the Highlander is that there's lots of nooks and crannies to store all of your items, like this bin right here, which goes all the way over to that side. And then the center console is very massive too, as you can see. Just a very big center console. I was actually really surprised to find this. And then this is also nice and soft touch too. And then you have nooks and crannies like right here as well. Just a lot of places to store your stuff inside of here. But that's what you want in a practical family hauler. And then your interior illumination lighting, sunglass container, and then your conversation mirror, manually dimming rearview mirror. Headliner is okay. Doesn't feel like a cardboard box like how some Toyotas did. Coming to the climate control system, it's pretty easy to figure out overall. You have dual zone automatic climate control, fan speeds, and I love how Toyota didn't go with touch sensitive buttons. Very easy to use. Very big knobs and buttons here. Different zones as well. And then your front window defroster and your rear window defroster right there. Now as far as the seats go, the seats are pretty comfortable. I would certainly take this vehicle on a long road trip. And while they don't offer a whole lot of side bolstering, the seats are decently plush and thigh support is excellent on the Highlander. As far as visibility goes, visibility is okay. And this is a fairly long crossover, I have to say. It's not like how the Highlander used to be in the past. You might, if you're used to the older generation Highlander back from 01 to 07, this vehicle is going to feel a lot more larger. And the side glass area is pretty good on the sides, and then the outward visibility is also decent. The rearward visibility is pretty hard to see out of that rear window back there, but at least a backup camera does come standard on every single Highlander. Then you also do have your digital clock up there too, and your cup holders as well. Instrument windshield wipers, of course. Then you have a little storage bin right here. Now coming to your infotainment system here, you have the Toyota Entune system. We do have a 6.1 inch touchscreen here. This is the base head unit that you will find on the Highlander. And it's pretty functional and easy to use, I have to say. Now coming to your different audio sources, you have AM, FM, XM satellite radio, Bluetooth streaming audio, your auxiliary input, and then your AV. And as you can see, the responsiveness is lightning quick. Coming to apps over here, these buttons on the sides right here are touch sensitive buttons, but they work very well and they're very refined. And you have your traffic right here, your weather. You can view the current weather, go to recently checked locations. Then you have your setup. You could change many different settings too. Then you have your fuel consumption data. Gives you a whole graph and everything. Pretty nice. Also, another pretty interesting, noteworthy feature of the Highlander is that you can get the driver easy speak system, and basically you can talk to the system and then it'll repeat your words out loud in the back of the car so your children can hear it, and that's a pretty useful feature, I have to say. Also, your optional sound system on this bad boy is a JBL audio sound system, but we do not have it here. But overall, I do really love this touchscreen. And then you have HD radio and Grace Note on this bad boy too. Now, as far as driving dynamics go of the Highlander, this isn't your big wallowy marshmallow that you come to expect from Toyota. It's actually a pretty buttoned down vehicle, and it feels decently responsive behind the wheel, and the steering is pretty communicative, while still having a very compliant and smooth ride, no matter what trim you get of the Highlander, and no matter what size of wheels you get too. Overall, it's certainly one of the best vehicles in the class when it comes to a decent balance between ride comfort and handling. And not to mention, the power from the 3.5 liter V6 is pretty potent overall too. Now, coming to the gauges, I really do like the gauges overall. The Smart is a little small. It can be a little bit bigger, but overall, I really do like it. Now, coming to that little center screen right there, that basically shows you lots of vehicle information, like your exterior temperature readout, and then what gear you're in, and your trip odometer, and then your current MPG, fuel range, and then settings. Many different things. You can also turn your eco mode off or on. Pretty cool. Alright, and let's go ahead and shut this baby down. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. Cargo capacity is pretty good back here. The seats also do fold down to maximize cargo space, which I will show you how to do that in just a second. We also do have a third row of seats too. But overall, if you're looking for the most cargo capacity in a crossover from Toyota, this is certainly the one you will want to get. And you do have a power tailgate too. It's actually pretty slow moving. Any day now. And build quality and materials do follow through in the rear. Still nice soft touch armrest, soft touch on mid door panel and upper door panel. These seats also do recline, and they do slide forward and aft too for a more comfortable experience. Now, sitting back here, usually in SUVs, especially crossovers, I really do complain about thigh support in the second row. However, thigh support for the second row in the Highlander is excellent. One of the best seats for a second row in a crossover. They're very comfortable too. And then you also do have dual map pockets, rear automatic climate control, and then a rear armrest with cup holders. Overall, very, very comfortable. And these headrests also do adjust. Now, if you want to hop into the third row, it's fairly easy to do. Just pull this lever up right here, and then slide it forward, and you just hop right in. Easy as that. Now, certainly back here, if this seat is put all the way back, I couldn't even fit back here. It's very, very cramped, and is certainly only recommended for small children. But it's always really been cramped in the Highlander. It's never really been particularly roomy. But if you're looking for more room in the third row, I suggest going with the Chevrolet Traverse and GMC Acadia, as well as if you're looking for more cargo capacity too. But at least this seat does slide forward and aft to your liking, so you can actually fit back here. But back here you also do have cup holders as well. Full manual passenger seat. Glove box compartment, nice and damped. So with its very refined character and all-around capability, the 2015 Toyota Highlander hauls the family gear around and the groceries with very minimal fuss, and is certainly a very good choice for a 3-row CUV. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.